Welcome, welcome. Those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Rachael Arnold, and I'm the CEO and founder of World Plasma. So some of you guys are students, some of you are not yet students. So I hope that you decide to join our family at some point and get your very own Plaxel and see the magic of how that all works. But tonight we are talking about how cryotherapy can enhance your plasma results. So I do, in my spa, I do cryofacials, I do cryo body slimming, and the cryo for facials and body, both of those help to really tighten up the skin, tone the skin, help to produce collagen. Sorry, I'm hearing all the beeping, it's distracting. But cryo, as some of you guys know, stimulates the dermis to create collagen and elastin. So if you are doing a series of cryofacials, some of you guys know that I also do microchanneling. If you guys can mute yourself, that would be awesome. Thank you. Okay. Some of you guys know that I also love microchanneling. So depending on what my clients need, I'll do a series of microchanneling or cryofacials before I do plasma. So I really like to get the integrity of their skin ready to go before we do plasma. I like to get them into a state of collagen production, really ramp that up before we do plasma since it is a little bit more invasive. So okay. People joining, sorry guys. But so in my spa, I've got a CryoSkin machine. I have a 3.0, and I also have the CryoSkin Revolution. And I met Miss Karla, who's going to talk a little bit about Cryo-Lean 360 for us in just a minute, at the Dallas Aesthetics Show a couple weeks ago. And they have this incredible cryo machine that will be my next machine. I wish I would have found them before I found my CryoSkin Revolution, which is an awesome machine. I'm not going to lie. It is a great machine, but you'll find out here in a minute that the Cryo-Lean 360 does a few things that all of these other cryo machines do not do. So it does the facials, it does the body, but it has a very unique way that it does body. So any of you guys that are doing plasma to tighten up the skin on the body, you really need to check this machine out because it will change the way that you do the body with plasma. Sorry. Okay, I got people joining. Yeah.
I'll get it for you.
Sorry, people joining. Okay, cool. But Karla is, did you say you're in Washington, right?
Yes.
From California. She works at a med spa. So she does a lot of cryo treatments at her med spa. She does some injections. She does a little bit of everything. And at Cryo-Lean, she does lots of different things. She's sort of heads up all of their training, but she does a whole lot for the Cryo-Lean company. So I am going to let her talk a little bit about the Cryo-Lean 360 machine, what it does, what it can help you do, how it can enhance your plasma results. And we'll do questions at the end. So go ahead and stay muted. I'm going to mute myself as well. And I'm going to pass this on over to Miss Karla so that she can tell us all about the Cryo-Lean machine.
Thank you. Give me one. I'm trying to share my screen here.
Oh, okay.
Is it on there? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so thanks, Rachael. As Rachael mentioned, I am the head of training for Cryo-Lean 360. I'm really excited to join you guys today and tell you a little bit more about our device. So what is Cryo-Lean 360? It is a fat freezing device. And one second here, my screen's not changing. There we go. It's a fat freezing device. So it's a non-invasive fat loss technology, and it is an easy 35, it says 30 there, it's 35-minute treatment on the bodies, virtually pain-free with no downtime, and it is a very safe and effective treatment, and you can pretty much target anywhere on the body where you've got a little extra fat that you want to get rid of. So Cryo-Lean is, there we go, it's a dual modality device. So in a little bit here, I'll show you a video so you can see the device and what I'm talking about. It is a dual modality device that does cryo freezing with 4 large body paddles. And those paddles cool down to from -5 to -10 Celsius to freeze that subcutaneous fat cells. And it also has a 5th attachment, which is a handheld attachment for the face. Basically, anything below the neck, you're going to use those 4 paddles, which are hands-free operation. And then from the neck up, you're going to use that handheld attachment for the face. The great thing about that handheld attachment for the face is that you can do pretty much 2 different things with it. You can use it for fat reduction, like the double chin, the jawline, and you can also use it for cryofacials for collagen and elastin production and for tightening the skin. And then the second modality we have in there is the pulse shockwave therapy. This helps to metabolize more fat, and it also tones the muscles in the treated area. This is something that you utilize in the body treatments and not on the face treatments. So there we go. 1 second. This is a little diagram here, and this just kind of shows you some of the areas on the body where you can use the 4 large paddles that I was talking about. So the bra bulge or bra fat, you've got your love handles, your arms, your abdomen, your thighs, your hips, pretty much anywhere where you can pinch that fat, you're able to do this treatment on it. I'm going to touch a little bit on how this works. So the fat freezing process, what happens is when you've got those stubborn fat cells, even fit people will have little bulges of fat that they can't get rid of no matter what they do, whether they're exercising, dieting, they just can't get rid of it. It's resistant to that. However, those fat cells are not going to be resistant to fat freezing. And what happens in this process is we freeze those fat cells. It bursts open the fat cell, and the contents of the fat cell comes out into the interstitial space. And that's your triglycerides and your fatty acids, toxins, those type of things. And then what happens is that gets moved out through your lymphatic system. 2 things are needed for that on your client's end to be able to eliminate those fat cells. And the 2 big things are going to be motion and hydration. So they need to be drinking lots of water, and they need to move. If they already work out, that's great. They can go and do their regular workouts. If they don't, they can, take a walk around their neighborhood. They can march in place while watching their favorite TV show, something like that. They just have to move to get that out of the body. The controlled cooling freezes those fat cells, but it doesn't affect any other cells or the skin or the nerves. And then once those frozen fat cells die off, like I mentioned, they're going to be eliminated by the body. And then whatever remaining fat cells are left in that area, they're going to reduce and condense over the next several weeks. So most of your clients are going to need a series of treatments. It's going to be about 6. Most people fall between 5 to 7 treatments. And each time they come in, whatever's remaining, condenses down. And that's when they start to visually see the difference that the treatments are doing for them.
Can I pop in for just a second?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to add, I know we're discussing fat freezing, but I've also seen with my cryo body fat freezing treatments that it helps to tone the skin as well, because it's still getting super cold. It's still targeting the dermis to create the collagen and elastin. So where this is really amazing is when you're doing the mommy tummy makeovers with the plasma and with cryo. The combination here is amazing because with cryo, you're getting rid of some of the excess fat that those mommies don't want, and you're also helping to tone and tighten the skin. And then you do plasma and it tightens that skin up even more, and it's just amazing. So anyway.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, it does tighten the skin. That is another benefit of the treatment. So on your body treatments, you are going to get your fat reduction, you're going to get your skin tightening, and your muscle toning. All of that in those body paddles. And then
other machines don't do the muscle toning with the cryo. Just have to add that. This is the only machine that does that.
Yes, it's all in one. Other machines, you would have to use like a couple different devices to get all of that in one. You're going to get all of that, and then you've got your handheld for the face. And again, that one also will tighten the skin. reduce fat, and induce collagen and elastin. So Cryo-Lean 360, it is the newest fat reduction device on the market. As we've already said, it freezes and tones. We talked about the dual modality device there. The price point per area with this treatment is a lot, it's very reasonable. It's a lot less than some of the bigger name devices that you can find out there. The price point for a single area on the body is going to be about $300 to $350, and that's for just one area. On most of the clients that you're going to work on, your one area is going to be like, it's going to need about 2 paddles, which then leaves you 2 more paddles on your device that you can use on a second area. So it's a 35-minute treatment. Again, if you're doing 2 paddles on one area, you're charging about $350. And if your client wanted to do a second area, you can do a second area in that same 35 minutes. And now you are going to be generating about $500 in 35 minutes. Your cost of consumables doesn't change. There is a membrane that you need to put between the skin and the paddle to protect the skin. And that one membrane will fit all 4 paddles. So even if you add on a second area, your cost of consumables doesn't change. You're just increasing your profit in that equipment time. Oh, sorry about that. Again, there's 4 large applicators. So, it does cover a lot of area. And you'll see that in the little short video I'm going to show you in a few minutes here. The device is very simple and straightforward to use. You're on the body treatments, you pretty much put that membrane on, you put your paddles on, and you set the device to your the settings that you need for the area you're working on. And most of that 35 minutes, they're just writing out their treatment. So if you do another service, you can do, if you're an esthetician and you do facials or you do microneedling or something like that, you could be doing that at the same time that your client is having their Cryo-Lean treatment on their body. Sorry, my slide, are you seeing that? My slides are flipping. Okay. So it's a great alternative to surgery. It's non-surgical, no pain, no downtime. I will note that, I've even had clients that have gone the surgical route and have had liposuction and things like that. And they do come out of that with still some lumps and bumps that they want to fine tune. And their options are to go back the surgical route and do another round of liposuction, or they can do something like Cryo-Lean to help improve that. So this really, you have a wide range of clientele that could benefit from these treatments here. And as I mentioned, most clients will need 5 to 7 treatments. So this is not like a one session miracle. I wish it was, but it's not. But 5 to 7 treatments is really not that bad. And your clients are able to do these 5 to 7 treatments every 2 weeks. So they can get through it pretty quickly. In one visit, your client can do up to 3 different areas. And then they would be able to do it again in 2 weeks. So I think the next slide is the video. This is just kind of show you a quick overview of how the treatment is done and what it looks like. All right, so you guys kind of got to see what that looks like, what the machine looks like, and how the treatment is done. I do want to touch on, I mentioned earlier, you can do this anywhere in the body where there is that pinchable fat. There's several different types of fat in the body. The two main ones for the purpose of what we're talking about today are going to be visceral fat and subcutaneous fat. So visceral fat is the unhealthy fat. It's associated with, usually other health conditions and things like that. It is the harder type of fat. So if you think of like a man with a hard beer belly, that's visceral fat. It's underneath the muscle, around the organs, and that's your visceral fat. And then we have subcutaneous fat, which is found just beneath the skin. And that is a type of fat that's, it's jiggly, it's soft, you can kind of pinch it. So that is a type of fat that works with Cryo-Lean. And basically on the body, if you can pinch it, if there's that fat there, you can do a Cryo-Lean on that. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that so that you guys kind of understand what type of client you can do this on. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of before and after pictures here. So Cryo-Lean can be done pretty much on anybody. This one here is a 46-year-old client. She is someone that I would call, kind of like your ideal client. Like I said, you can do this on anyone, but your ideal client is someone that is going to be maybe 10 to 25, 10 to 30 pounds of their ideal weight. And they've got some areas of stubborn fat that they want to get rid of. And in those situations, you're going to be looking at that 5 to 7 treatments that I talked about earlier. So this one here, you can see she's 46 years old. She did a series of 6 and she came out with really amazing results. Her body looks great there. Can you do it on someone that is more than 25, 30 pounds from their target weight? Yes, you can. Again, your treatment recommendations are going to change there. Like this one here, this client here has had 4 children. She wanted to, improve the look of her belly, but she did not want to go through the surgical route or, have any liposuction and things like that. So she did a series of 6 here in this photo, and you can see the improvement in her belly there. And she was very happy with that. So as long as you manage their expectations and, are able to let them know what to expect based on their starting point, this treatment works for just about anybody. Okay. So, if your client came in like this, you're not going to promise them that they're going to leave with washboard abs, but she has pretty significant improvement here in her belly. So Cryo-Lean, what it comes with. So we do have financing options available. When you purchase your device, it does come with training and support. Training starts over the phone and over Zoom. You and I will start working on your training that way. But we do come out to you and to your location and do in-person hands-on training with you. That's included in the purchase of your device. You will also get marketing assistance. So we do have someone that will help you with marketing strategies, social media marketing, email marketing, and those types of things. And that way we can get you going. We can get you going with your Cryo-Lean business even before your device gets to you. And then it also includes the sales training help. So we teach you how to do consultations, how to be able to determine how many treatments your clients are going to need and those type of things. It also comes with the consent forms and the protocols that you need to do this treatment. And with all of that also comes the certification. So you're getting your training, your certification, your device, everything all in one. So I'm going to move into here. This is the return on investment with Cryo-Lean. So the suggested pricing for one area is $350. If they're adding on a second area, we do discount that to encourage them to do, that second area. And now they're paying $550 for 2 areas. And if they decide to do 3 areas, it goes down to $750. The return on investment in this is incredible. So if you are doing $350 treatments, all you need to do is 3 treatments per day. If you're working a 5-day work week, that's 15 treatments per week, which amounts to 60 treatments per month. And doing that, you are going to generate an additional $21,000 a month on top of whatever it is you already do in your business. And that $21,000 a month is going to come out to $252,000 in extra revenue per year for you. And again, that's on top of whatever you're already doing. right? So like I said, you can do this while you're doing other treatments without having to add any more time on your books. It's a very easy treatment to sell because just about everybody has at least one area that they are going to want to do with this. For me, most of my clients that come in, they come in for one area, and then as I talk to them about pricing and they see the discount that's there, they will end up doing a 2 or 3 area versus just one area. Any questions so far?
Yeah, and when they do, like, say they do 3 areas and you tell them they need like 5 treatments, so that would be $750 times 5. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually, like for me, what I do, I only sell the 6 treatment package because it just makes it more simple than having to remember what a 5 treatment package, 6, 7, 8. So I usually will just go right middle of the road, recommend that 6 treatment package, and then we kind of just go from there. And the cost of that package, versus them going to get liposuction and things like that, it's a lot more affordable, and they're able to do that whole series of 6 versus with other devices where their one session pricing is $750 to $1,000 or more just for one session. This makes it a lot more affordable for your client to commit to that process and really complete their series of treatments.
Yeah, so I know, like with cool sculpting, I get a lot of questions about the difference between cool sculpting and these types of machines. And the biggest difference is the price. The next biggest difference is it's not painful, and you're not sucking the skin up into a machine like you are with cool sculpting. But also the pricing with cool sculpting is, like you were saying, anywhere from $750 to $1,000 per area. And then a lot of these other cryo skin type machines are like $400 per area. And that adds up so quickly because people always need more than one area. And then with Cryo-Lean as well, you can cover more at one time than you can with all these other machines that are mostly handheld devices. So with other devices, you have to do like a half sheet of paper is your treatment area. And you have to spend 30 minutes with a handheld wand on that half sheet of paper area. So that gets very time consuming and very expensive for people. So with Cryo-Lean, it makes so much more sense. And then you're also doing the muscle toning with it. And then cryofacials, when you start advertising those, will become one of your most popular facials. It is one of our most popular facials as well. People haven't heard everywhere. They haven't heard of cryofacials yet. So it's intriguing. They want to try it. And everyone sees some results after one. So we always do our before and after photos in that first facial session. And everyone always sees a change, whether it's a really big change or a small change, everyone sees a change. And then they always get a package of facials after that. So I just wanted to throw that in there. We have some questions.
Are they in there?
Okay, so I'm going to go back. We want to know how much the equipment costs. And I know this machine is cheaper than a lot of these other machines because I've got these other ones. I know this one is a little bit cheaper. Did you want to go over pricing?
Yes, my next slide is actually the pricing there. I do want to touch on a couple things really quick.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, there is no suction or vacuum on this device, so it is a lot more comfortable for your clients. There's no bruising that comes with that suction. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that Cryo-Lean is a cosmetic device, not a medical device. That being said, it's actually a question there. You don't need a medical director to be able to purchase this device or use this device because it is cosmetic, not medical. Somebody did ask about how big the machine is. I'm going to say I have a very small treatment room. It is smaller than 10 by 10, and I have one in there. So I want to say it's about maybe 4 feet tall and like, I don't know, 18 to 24 inches wide and deep. It's a little bit really deeper because it's a little bit deeper because the cords come out of the back there. But like I said, I have a very small treatment room, and when I'm not using it, it tucks in, easily into a corner, and I'm able to work with it in there.
If any of you
So
guys have a hydrofacial machine or have seen those, I would say it's similar in size, except it's a little wider
perfect.
because hydrofacial is really skinny, but
Yeah.
it's about that tall. It
And
doesn't take up a lot of room.
certification, it does come with your training. That certification will come with your training as well. And I'm a basic esthetician. Yes, this is a cosmetic device, intentionally for estheticians and other beauty professionals to be able to use this.
There are a lot of cryo places actually that they don't have estheticians on staff and they're doing this. So that actually gives you an edge if you are an esthetician, because if someone in your area hears about a cryofacial that they're doing at a cryo place, you can say, well, mine's going to be better because I'm giving you a whole skin evaluation. I'm giving you a full facial with it. Like I do a whole like detox facial after the cryo facial. So I make the whole treatment like an hour long, when the facial itself with the cryo wand is about 20 minutes. It's not that long, but I extend it and make it a really amazing, relaxing facial. So that's what makes it very different than someone that will just go to a cryo center and do it.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. And then Maggie is asking about the toxic load to the body if you're doing more than one area. The body can handle up to 3 areas in that one session every 2 weeks. As long as they're, no major health issues or anything like that, the body can handle up to three areas.
Is that like an hour and a half ish?
So if it depends, right? Depends how many paddles you're using. It could be, it could be 2 35-minute sessions. It just depends on the client you're working on. Like for bellies, most of the time, my clients that are coming in for bellies are 2 paddles. Once in a while, I get someone that requires 3 on there. So it just depends on how many paddles you have to use on the area and the client you're working on. But you can safely,
1 paddle, 1 area?
Usually it's 2. So usually like most bellies are going to be 2 paddles, and then if they're doing like like the bat wings, the back of the arms, it's usually 1 paddle and 1 paddle. So I could do like the belly and the arms in 1 35-minute session, or you could do thighs and arms or something like that.
And that would be 2 areas?
That would be 2 separate areas. Correct.
Gotcha. That's so much more doable. Yeah.
And then the pulse shockwave. Oh, go ahead.
No, this just makes so much more sense.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So the difference between pulse shockwave and neurological muscular stimulation. So we are stimulating the muscles. We're not working on the nerves or anything like that. When you're doing that 35-minute treatment, let's say on the belly, it's the equivalent of doing like 400 or so sit-ups, right? So it's like doing a workout for your muscles there. The consumables. So I mentioned one membrane, that packet of membranes. One membrane can cover up to 4 paddles, and your price point on that one membrane for the 4 paddles is going to be about $12.50. So, if you're doing just one area at $3.50, your cost of consumables there is about $12.50. So it's under $13, and the rest of it is profit, right? If you're doing
That's
2
amazing.
areas, if you're doing 2 areas, 4 paddles, your cost of consumables is still that same, under $13. Okay. Is it warm? It is not warm. This is cold therapy. And then the pulse shockwave, which is the muscle stimulation. The muscle stimulation part, muscle toning part of it, what it feels like, because we turn that on once the client is at the numb state. So they feel cold in the beginning, and then they kind of go through a numb state where they don't really feel cold anymore. They don't really feel much. And then we turn on that pulse shockwave. When they're in that numb state, some people will feel it kind of like a buzzing. Some people will feel almost just like a light tapping or something on there because they are numb. So it's not painful or anything like that. And we do offer financing, and we're going to go through that in just a second. As far as insurance goes, most people's regular aesthetic insurances will cover you as long as you are certified or you've gone through proper training, which will come with your device.
Some aesthetic insurances don't cover cryo, actually. I know I use Champ, and if you guys need their info, they cover everything. They cover plasma, they cover cryo, they cover everything, as well as hands-on trade association. So if you guys need insurance, suggestions, y'all can just message Mike. I'm also on that text number. If you message Mike, the guy that you guys have been talking to about Paxil, if you have insurance questions, just message there and I'll respond and give you the insurance information.
Perfect. Contraindications. So just with like anything else, there are some contraindications here, not too many. Obviously pregnant and nursing, like everything else, you know, that would be a contraindication. If you have a client that has any kidney, liver issues, if they're on dialysis, that type of thing, that would be a contraindication. Clients that have a pacemaker, defibrillator, that type of thing, you can still do Cryo-Lean on them. We just can't utilize the pulse shockwave on them. Okay.
Yes, we're trying to get through all the questions, guys. So please be patient. We'll get through them. I promise.
Yes. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm going back.
I know. I was like, I didn't see what question that one was.
Well, did you want to talk about the price of the machine, and I'll go through?
So let me get onto the pricing and then we'll go back in there. So the cost of this device, the list price on this is $34,900. We are offering you guys a special pricing on this, and that is $6,000 off that list price. It makes it $28,900. And on top of that, we are also offering free shipping. So you're going to be saving another $1,500. You are going to be saving $7,500 on the pricing that we're offering to you guys for joining us here today. So we do have a couple of different financing options. One obviously is if you want to pay it in full or you want to get your own financing outside of that, you're welcome to do so. We do have a financing company that we work with, and your down payment can be as low as $2,000 down. Once you put your application in, the financing company will review that, and it's your terms and interest rate and all of that will be determined based on your credit history that they pull. Okay.
And a question about, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
were you done?
I was going to say, and then I wanted to know, with this price point that you guys are getting, your return on investment is basically you need to sell 14 packages to make your money back on this. And it's only 14 packages, which is really, really easy to do. We have a lot of practitioners that are paying off their device in ridiculous amounts of time. Some are like 2 weeks, some within just a couple months, because this is this service is in such high demand right now that they're able to build their clientele so quickly with this.
Yeah, my first device was paid off in 2 months, and that was with a machine that was not anywhere near as good as this. So it's very, very popular. And we had a question about the new T-Shock. Do you know how this machine compares to the newer T-Shock machine?
So I'm not super familiar with. I know about it. I've heard about it, but I'm not 100% familiar with that. I'm familiar with your device that you have, Rachael.
Yeah. So what I know about T-Shock is it's all handheld, and the newer CryoSkin. So CryoSkin is basically a T-Shock device, just a little fancier. But they're basically the same machine. And with the new CryoSkin Revolution, it's got these static pads, which are these just round sort of discs that you stick on the body to do what these paddles do, just not as good because it doesn't have the muscle stimulation and it doesn't cover as large of an area. So I'm not sure if the new T-Shock has those static pads or not. I don't remember, but the new CryoSkin one does. So I think T-Shock and CryoSkin are very similar in their product development. But most of what CryoSkin and T-Shock do are manual fat freezing. So you have a wand and you have to manually go over the wand like a snail crawl type of motion. And there's a little massage technique that goes with it. But it's very labor intensive. T-Shock and CryoSkin are very labor intensive. You can't step away unless you've got the static pads, and the static pads don't cover as much of an area as the Cryo-Lean machine does, like we were just talking about. But as far as I know, those are the main differences: is a manual that's very tiring and labor intensive versus these paddles where you can stick them on and do other things while you're fat freezing.
Yes. So and because our paddles,
you're welcome, Tina. I think
because
I
our
think that's
paddles
right.
stay, I was gonna say, because our paddles stay in place and they're not in motion, you're able to get a much better treatment because you're able to regulate that temperature in that one area. When you're doing a manual treatment, you know, every time you move away, that temperature goes up and you've got to keep, you know, dropping that temperature there.
Yeah. And with the manual treatment, like it is effective. You just have to do a smaller area and you have to focus on this tiny area for 30 minutes and you have to go so super slow. So it's effective, but again, very manually, you know, intense. You're very tired at the end of the day. Yeah. And you can't cover as much of an area. It's just not as good of price points for your clients as, sorry, my kids are screaming. But anyway, those are the main differences. With this one, you can cover more area. The price point's better for your clients. You'll be able to treat more people with it. And then you're not going to be as tired at the end of the day.
Perfect. So I'm going to go to Maggie's question. So she's asking, when you're doing arms or thighs, is it 2 or 4 paddles? It's going to depend on the client that you're working on. Most of the time, for me, those are going to be 2 paddles, 1 on each side. Once in a while, you will get a client that will require 2 paddles on each side. So just it's going to vary based on the client that you're working on. Okay, and let me see. We do have a trade-in offer, actually, if you already have a different cryo machine. If you wanted to do a trade-in for that, you can get up to you can get an additional $1,000 off your device for trade-in. Okay. And again, the body treatments are hands-free. There's no manual manipulation. You don't have to do any massage, wood therapy, or anything like that at the end of it. So it's really easy on your body, because a lot of those manual manipulation type treatments, they are very hard on your body, your neck, you know, your back, and all of that.
You get a good workout if you want to look at it that way.
You do.
Help me lose a little bit of weight. Just kidding.
And
I'd rather not have to do all that work.
The pricing that we're offering for you guys is good until the end of the month, so until April 30th. If you want to secure this pricing, it only requires $2,000 down while we figure out your financing. And if you're looking for your own financing or anything like that, you have time to do that with that $2,000 down. It will just lock that in for you until you've got your financing in place, if you need the financing. Okay. Are there any other questions out there?
Do you work with a financing company? We do, but I didn't know if you guys do.
We do work with an outside financing company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. And Marina, you asked me if I was going to do a webinar on plasma. Yeah, those are coming. We're doing a lot of additional informational sessions, kind of like this, just because I've done so much on plasma, and I was thinking people were getting sick of me, so I wanted to bring some other opinions in. But Marina, let me know what you need, and we'll definitely do another webinar on just plasma if you need something like that. We can absolutely do it. And going back to the cryofacials, I just filmed the way that I do my cryofacials that are very effective. And I will upload that as soon as I have this edited. I had a professional videographer come in and do a bunch of different angles and make it look all fancy. So as soon as I have this edited, I will put it into our plasma training, and you guys will just have that for free. Kind of like I included the microchanneling training, that's included free in your plasma training as well. So anyone that gets a Plaxel, you get free online training with me, lifetime support from me. And like I said, you get the free microchanneling training now. And then I'll put the cryo skin facial training in there as well. So you guys have that.
I did put my
okay, Marina, awesome.
Yeah, I put my email and my phone number there if you guys have any questions, or if you want to reach me after the webinar. We also have our 800 number available here.
Yeah, so if you guys want to get in touch with Karla about getting a Cryo-Lean machine, yeah, her information is in the chat. And if you guys don't catch it in time, then just message Mike and we'll get it to you. And yes, my Pro Cell Microchanneling Marina, yes, that training is now included for free in our plasma training. Oh, okay, you're certified in training. Awesome. So it's just be a little extra bonus for you then. Did you guys have any other questions for us? Yeah, if you need insurance, if you have insurance questions, send Mike a message and we'll get that to you. And I don't see any other questions. So thanks you guys so much. Thank you, Tana.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karla, for coming on. Maggie, you still have questions, but more technical. Okay. Yeah, feel free to reach out to Karla or reach out to Mike for me, and we'll get those questions answered for you. And then we'll probably do this again in like another month or so, and go into a little bit more details about cryo and how it can help you and enhance all of your results with everything you're doing. So thank you so much again, everybody, for joining us, and let us know if you have questions, and we'll be on here. Oh, we'll be on here again next week, talking with an amazing marketing lady. So I know we said we were already going to do that, but we paused it because we wanted to make sure it was going to be amazing and we needed a little bit more time to plan it. So thank you, Jasmine. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.